Hi, everyone. Welcome to Leaders Live. My name is John Launius. I'm the Vice President of Vidzu Media, and I'm here with Susanne Evans, who is the CEO of AAA Translation. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This is great because this is our first broadcast actually on our Leaders Live Facebook page. And Leaders Live is really about interviewing leaders in different spaces. And I thought that you'd be a great guest because we have a collaboration that we're going to be talking about. But I think people should really get to know you and a little bit about you. So I said AAA Translation, so that's translation and consulting. But I'm curious, how many languages do you speak?
I speak 6. My native is German, and then I studied 5 other languages, and I think I speak English pretty fluently.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ich heiße Johann.
Ich heiße Susanne.
Yeah, so gut. So now we're not going to do it in all German. We're not going to do that. So it's really interesting because we noticed, you and I, that the world is changing pretty quickly. And it's not uncommon now to see America, maybe not so much in the Midwest, but on the coast, becoming a lot like Europe, where we have people that are multilingual, right? I'm just curious, do you have a question for me about languages?
I do. You speak Japanese, I hear.
Hi.
Can you share some with us?
Konnichiwa, o genki desu ka? Sotomo Amerikajin desu. Yeah. So that's really how you and I connected, was that we recognized that we were both bilingual and had studied multiple languages. And it's interesting because for me, I got into languages when I was about 10 years old when I got into martial arts. And it was interesting because as I started learning more about the Japanese culture, it was important for me to really understand the language. And it has served me very well because I think that as you learn a language, it changes your brain. Would you say that's true?
Definitely. I mean, you learn not only the language, but you learn the culture with the language, and that just reprograms your brain totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what's interesting is that actually Suzanne's husband and his business partner, actually, we were all training in martial arts in the 90s, but that's not how we met, though.
No, that's not how we met at all.
Yeah.
It just came out during conversation that 10 degrees of separation here?
In St. Louis, it's really only 1. But let's take a look at really your first experience with translation and how it relates to the total capabilities of AAA Translation.
Yeah. So growing up in Germany, I was watching television, and I was watching these shows, and I realized that the people speaking, the language matches, but it was not German. I found out, those are English speakers. So I'm like, this is really interesting. So in Germany, we have to study a second language in school. Yeah. So English was my thing. And at age 16 in my local newspaper, they have this free advertising section. And I put in English-German translator available. And actually, a gentleman called my parents' house, and he came over, and I translated a letter for him, and he wanted to pay me. I'm like, wow, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. So that's how I got started. Yeah. I studied international business. I'm a foreign language correspondent and been working for global companies all my life. I know nothing different than global companies. Moved here and started English-German, German-English translation services. Was working full-time, and the business was growing, and I was working full-time, and I had to make a decision. And about 16 years ago, I decided, okay, I'm doing this full-time. And then it just started growing. We started offering other languages, added people, and now we're offering 150 languages. We work worldwide, any country, any continent. We can take care of clients, no matter what language, what material. We can pretty much do it all, especially with interpreting, translating, video.
Well, I love that because, again, our conversation started really out of one of the Vidzu commitments, which is to explore what's possible. Because I like to say that if we don't explore what's possible, we inherit what's probable.
Yeah.
So I think we should actually take a look at some of the work that AAA Translation has done for Vidzu. What we're about to show you is actually the brand film for Vidzu Media. It's called Explore What's Possible. It's about 2 minutes long, so we're going to play the whole thing. But notice that the Spanish subtitles, and here we go.
What's possible? That's often never asked. Every story has challenges, but also possibilities. possibilities? What if we all imagine what's possible? Can you see it? Possibility is nothing but a passing thought. Until you bring it to life.
Okay, John, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What does Vidzu Media mean, and what is the global vision for Vidzu?
Got it. First of all, I want to say that was great work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great video.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the Bidzoo team. I mean, it's great video all across the board. Well, so for those who don't know, it was interesting when I first got to Vidzu, someone told me that Vidzu meant video as a zoo, and I said, well, what if the V stood for velocity? What if vid stood for video, and what if zoo was the Japanese word to tell a story through pictures? Given I speak Japanese, I looked at that and I was like, and everyone loved it. So for us now at Vidzu, it really is with velocity, telling amazing stories through pictures. And that brand film, Explore What's Possible, is really exactly that. And now, anyone who spoke Spanish, saw that too.
Yeah. So AAA Translation came about, when we still had yellow pages. So we were the first ones in the yellow pages.
There you go. Well, so
no creative outlet here.
Yeah. Well, and to answer your second question about global is that, if you're not serving the global community, I think that you're really missing something. I mean, we're seeing now that, the internet has made the world smaller. I mean, we're connected right now through the internet. And anywhere in the planet right now, I mean, people are going to share this, they're going to see this, and I think that when you talk about the bigger issues that we have on the planet, if I at least have a better understanding of your culture, I think that we get along much better, and we start to understand each other. And so for me, that's been the value of understanding different languages and different cultures, has been that, I've been enriched as a person. And honestly, for us when we first met, I don't know how. I mean, we connected very quickly because of the languages and because of that worldview, and that's a commitment that AAA Translation has, and it's a commitment that we have at Bidzoo. So it's a great partnership.
Yeah, building global bridges. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little. So before we talk about our offering and our collaboration, you're also working with other companies in the Nitrous Effect. Vidzu is a part of the Nitrous Effect, which is a collection of awesome companies that we work with, and that website is nitrouseffect.com. But specifically, you're working with GenieCast. Can you talk a little bit about that collaboration?
Yeah, we're in the startup phase of creating live video interpreting for anybody worldwide. We have a lot of clients that have conferences, and we need to bring in the interpreters, we need to bring in the equipment, which is very cost prohibitive for some people.
Right.
So what we're trying to accomplish is to have live video interpreting where the interpreter can sit anywhere in the world.
Right.
And is live on video and interprets a conference, interprets a business meeting, and cost level is much lower than bringing in equipment, flying in interpreters. It's a great way to build bridges.
Right. And if you don't know GenieCast, geniecast.com, I mean, we've got Steve Wozniak, who's on the platform. We've got Richard Branson, and we have hundreds of other experts. And if you need, that expert in Spain, if you need that expert in China, in Japan, AAA Translation will work with you to have that happen. So let's talk a little bit about our collaboration. So if we look on the internet and we look in the world today, what do you primarily see? video, right?
Well, yeah, mostly video.
Yeah.
But video in other languages that you don't understand, especially a lot of English videos
Right.
that other countries don't even look at because they are in English.
Right.
So even if we, take a video and put subtitles on there, it'll make the other people look at your company, possibly contact you, and possibly, you can collaborate together.
Right.
Because most people, 60% of the people worldwide will only work with companies if they offer items in foreign languages. Their marketing brochures, their videos, whatever, their website. These are all important factors on working globally.
Right.
And a lot of companies miss that.
Yeah.
They miss that market.
And what I love about this is that, if you have a company and you want to go global, you don't necessarily have to reinvent all the content that you have. What we're able to do at Vidzu Media is take that content in-house and, we can edit it, cut it the way it needs to be cut. We can add in the translations that you do and make sure that they fit perfectly. There is this tendency sometimes where companies don't get professionals involved and translations go wrong.
All the time.
Have you got a good story about that?
I can't talk about it.
Well, we've heard stories on the internet where translations go wrong, and we don't want that to happen. So for us at Vidzu, it was really important to find a great partner like AAA Translation that can literally take either content that you already have or creating new content, which is our specialty, and really creating something that can go quite literally global and viral. And that's what we're creating together.
What I can say is that we get a lot of phone calls that have used an online translator, not mentioning any names, but it went wrong.
Yeah.
And so clients do call us, can you please help us clean this up? And pretty much most of the time we have to say, sorry, we have to start from scratch.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, we would love to hear from you at vidzu.com, vidzu.com, and or aaatranslation.com. But before we wrap up, 25 years, entrepreneur, immigrant business owner.
Yes.
You just received an award yesterday.
Yes.
What's that award?
From the St. Louis Mosaic Project, I was one of a few immigrant entrepreneur award winners. Plus, I'm the president of St. Louis Stuttgart Sister Cities, and St. Louis Stuttgart Sister Cities won an award too.
Love that. Love that.
Yes,
Well,
it's wonderful.
I love that. So if you're inspired by today's message and you know a company or you are a company, share this broadcast today. We would love that. So thanks for tuning in to Leaders Live. Check out vidzu.com, nitrouseffect.com, AAAtranslation.com. Would you like to leave the audience with a final thought?
Es war wirklich schön, mit dir zu sprechen. Vielen Dank.
Yeah, sehr gut. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. I'm John Launius. I'm the Vice President of Bidzoo Media, and this is Susanne Evans, CEO of AAA Translation. We'll see you on the next Leaders Live.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.